see if it's going to work. We didn't time out. 4 minutes through, and it's both after
It's
7
long.
minutes.
Good to see you, Rick.
Okay, we are live. Hello, Mr. Rick. How are you?
Oh, Rick, I think you're muted. Let me let him know he's muted. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Leah. There we go.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to call this meeting to order at 4:04. Let's go ahead and we're going to have everyone to review the minutes from April the 12th. And after we review those minutes, I want to have a motion to accept the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay. It has been motion to approve by Katie and second by John. Do we have any objections? Anyone want to vote to approve the minutes? Say aye.
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 Okay. No objections. Our next order of business, we're going to start at the top. We have here with us tonight, Rick, I might mess up your name, Rick Kroshka.
That's correct.
All right, here from with us from Triad. Also, he's going to do our logo presentation. So, Rick, we're going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
First, I want to check, do I have my whole team on? I see Leah. Is Laura on or is she waiting to get in? I can't see.
I don't see her on. Let me message her and see.
Yeah, she had
Okay.
clicked to get on and she was in the waiting room and I invited her, but then it looked like it was
Okay.
on idle.
Let's see here.
Because I think she has the PDF. I might have a copy of it, but I just wanted to make sure she was on. So let me just check with her. Okay, she's in the other room. Hold on
Okay.
a second.
Here she is.
Thanks for coming, Leah.
Thank you. I was going to say I might as well introduce myself while we're waiting. It looks like Laura's connecting now.
Mhm.
Right.
Rick, I was just going to
Okay.
introduce myself while you were
Go
running
ahead.
around. Looks like Laura's on. I'm Leah Fleming. I'm a creative director at Triad, and we're thrilled to be able to be part of this logo development.
Yeah, this was something that started last year. I know that the Arts Board applied for one of our Design for Good grants last year. And as things were coming to an end last year, I know that there was a lot going on, and this rolled into this year. And so we've been working. I know that earlier you were sent a survey that we usually give to clients just to get them thinking about logo and brand development. And you submitted some information back to us. And then we began the process here of putting concepts together and ideas. And just so that you know, we like being able to present them in person. So we're happy to be online today with all of you. And also, we want to put some options out there, give some explanations, and then allow you to sort of get some feedback to us. And if we can land somewhere where everyone's really happy, we can then start continuing the process. So I'm going to turn this over to Leah and Laura now so they can go through the concepts with all of you and share some of these designs. It's exciting. We always like doing this.
Real quick, sorry everyone that I was a few minutes late. I was having some technical difficulties, but I'm Laura Peters. I'm a new design director at Triad. Well, new old. I worked at Triad 10 years ago, and I kind of boomeranged back here. So I've been back for a couple weeks now, but that's just a little bit about me. So I'm going to go ahead and share what we have here. Let me share my screen. Can you all see this? Okay, good. Yeah, so before diving into this, we did a lot of research. We looked at what other public art commissions are doing in other cities, and what we can do to make you guys stand apart from those other commissions. And I think, you know, the set of logos that we put together, we had started out with dozens. We've called it down to 4 really good, solid options. I would say they're all you know, simple, clean, and iconic, because we really want to celebrate the public art that is being put out there. So we don't want the logo to necessarily overshadow that. We're trying to celebrate it with this. So with that said, I'll kind of just dive into the different logo options we have here. I'm excited, and feel free to shout out in the middle of this presentation if you have any questions or comments or anything. Okay, so our first concept is what we're kind of calling a geometric monogram. So these arch shapes that you're seeing here represent the letters A, P, and A for Akron Public Art. They represent them at their most minimalist, simple form, where it's essentially these, you know, half circle shapes. We were really inspired by, you know, that timeless geometric Bauhaus kind of design. You know, something just clean that is going to stand the test of time. And what we really like about this particular option is you can take these arch shapes and kind of pull them out of the logo and use them as a pattern. You can scale them up, scale them down in supportive design elements. So I'll kind of go through, we applied each logo to different pieces of collateral, just so you can kind of envision how the brand might play out. And one thing I forgot to mention at the top here is we're presenting all of these in black and white today, but there will be a second round where we do a full color exploration. But we kind of find that when we remove the color aspect of it in the beginning, it's a little easier to just talk about the design, the shapes, the type. And then once we kind of pick a favorite or 2 favorites, we can then go down the path of color palette exploration. So just keep that in mind. A lot of what you're going to see is black and white and grayscale, but we'll apply color later. So, and then here's what a potential billboard could look like with this particular logo concept. So you can see on the right here, we've pulled out those shapes. They're now, you know, kind of creating a little bit of a cool abstract pattern to the right corner. And the image behind there could be anything. I mean, it could be an image of public art. It could be, you know, a photo of an artist. And then the copy on there is what we call lorem ipsum or Greeking. So it's not real words or real language. It's just kind of to represent, you know, a tagline that could go there or some kind of copy that could go there. And then this is just a business card application and, you know, potentially what a social media post could look like. We like to show, you know, what both print and digital executions could look like for your brand. But again, like you could see with the business card, how that pattern kind of starts to play out. Kat, we used your name on all the business cards, just, you know, because it's nice and short and easy to to type out. So you're going to see your name throughout this presentation. So that's concept 1. We're calling it, you know, our geometric Akron Public Art monogram. Concept 2 is what we're calling the invisible wall concept. So we've taken the words Akron Public Art and we've put them on this forced perspective. So now the letter forms are sort of creating an implied wall. And when we were, you know, doing our research, we saw that the wall is kind of the most common canvas that we see public art on, whether it's like, you know, murals, graffiti artists, that kind of thing. So a couple of our concepts were inspired by the idea of a wall and public art being on that wall. And what we really like about this particular logo is when you put those words at those angles, it creates a really like energetic, dynamic feeling logo. So it's like, it just feels exciting. I don't know, when I look at it, it's like, almost yelling at you, but in a positive way. So this is, our invisible wall concept here. And this is what a potential billboard application might look like. You can see we started playing with this diagonal shape that can go behind the logo, which kind of reinforces the diagonal line in the letter A there. And then you'll see in the business card application and on the social media post, we've repeated that strong diagonal line. So that could become, a graphic element that's part of your brand toolkit for this logo option. And we just feel it's a really strong mark and very unique. So that is concept 2. And and I should mention, we put just some examples of Akron public art, of murals and stuff on these pieces, but it could really be whatever we want. But we liked the idea of, highlighting the actual murals and artists around Akron. Thought that would be kind of cool.
And Laura, I don't mean to interrupt, but one thing to note, I think we talked about before, is there's the capability of printing business cards with different images on the back of different cards. So you could have, 10, 20 different images. So every card had that flexibility of the visuals.
Yes. Yeah. And we show that in one of the later concepts, but yeah, I think that's a great thing to call out. I think it's called like variable printing or whatever. So yeah, you could have like a set of 5 different images in your little stack of cards, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. We kind of do that with our business cards.
I wrote that down before you made that comment. I wrote that down on my notes. Different images on business cards.
Yes, yes.
We actually do that for our Triad business cards. We have things that are of interest to us on the back of our cards. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it personalizes it a little bit more, and it's makes it a little more interesting than just a boring whatever business card. So our third concept here is kind of a wall corner. So again, we got inspired by the idea of the public wall being the canvas of the artwork. So what we liked about this is the clean lines of the icon create these planes that come together, and the openness and sort of ambiguity of it allows the icon lines to frame the diverse and potential art of the artist. So you can sort of imagine those squares could be, anything. But that's what we like about it. It's like implying that there's some kind of art on that wall, and what that is up to the viewer to sort of fill in the blanks. But we feel like this is a really nice, clean, minimalist mark that says a lot without really, saying too much.
And I just wanted to add on this particular mark before you go on, Laura, is what I like about this particular mark is that one of the things I read in some of your materials was about the possibilities of public art. And I feel like this creates a space that's inviting, and also is the possibilities in any medium or whether it's any type of art. So it might not be art that is up for a day. It is no longer there. So, not all art has, a lot, the shelf life could change. So I feel like this did have this openness of possibilities. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there so you understood where we were coming from, but yet creating this space.
Yeah, we like this one too. Actually the base shape of the hexagon, that shape alone really doesn't say that much, but the minute you put those other panels, you create this sense of space within that image. So that's where I think the dynamicism comes into it.
Yeah, very good call outs. And then this is a billboard application, how it might look laid on top of a piece of actual public art. And then a business card application and a social media post. We did a vertical business card here, which is kind of different. You don't see that as often, but just really clean, modern minimalist design here. So.
Yeah, and as far as once we introduce color, then the business cards we could really develop a look, and so we're really just showing it kind of flat and gray, but by all means it is art, so we really want to showcase some excitement and energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then this last concept is what we're calling the frame. So this is a dynamic logo where the square actually acts as a frame for the artwork. You might have seen other dynamic logos out there, but just before I dive in, I want to show a couple examples because some of you might not be like super familiar with what that is or what that means. So here's an example of the Natural History Museum and how they have a dynamic logo, how the letter N can be filled with any type of image, with different types of images. And here's the National Women's History Museum. You see how they filled that shape with different images. And then this one, we all know MTV is a dynamic logo. So that's iconic. They just are using the letter M and then filling it with different images. So this is sort of the idea and the real crux of the concept behind this, this fourth concept here. So imagine it as a picture frame, and you'll see in the applications kind of how it plays out. And the simplified sort of horizontal version is really cool because it's just the letter A now for Akron and art, but it's also an easel, which we thought was really cool. Kind of has that duality to it, that little mark. And that's good for things like on your Instagram profile image where you might want like a smaller little icon or glyph to put in there. So we like that this has a couple of different versions to it. And then here's, how it could look on a billboard. You see it's framing a piece of the art here. And then this is a business card application. So, like what Leah was saying earlier, we really think for this particular concept, definitely doing variable printing would be the way to go, where, you have these square business cards and you could have like 6 different designs or 10 different designs, where it's actually these close-up crops of artwork around Akron, of these murals that are around Akron. So we thought that was a nice application for that. And then these are just a couple examples of social posts. So, the frame could get blown out where the image actually sits behind it, almost like it's a cutout. So that's another way that you could apply the logo. And then in the social posts, now we're framing actual artists' faces. So think of that as like maybe it's an artist spotlight post and you're framing their face with the logo. And what we thought would be really cool with this particular logo option is, you could actually have a physical frame created and like laser cut, like a wooden frame that people could hold in front of them and take photos, or they hold it in front of a piece of public art and take a photo. So it's like a little prop or whatever. That could be another really interesting and unique way to apply this logo. And I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to try to share another application here.
Yeah.
Do you see my screen? Okay.
Yeah, it's working
It's
great.
moving.
Oh, can you see the
Yep.
GIF?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see it.
I cannot see it. So
Really?
no, I just see a Zoom screen right now. It just
Okay,
says-
you just put it in the
No.
browser.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nope,
that's
it's there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks great.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of really cool dynamic things you could do with this particular concept where you have, you know, images changing out behind it and it's a GIF or a video. So we really, we liked that about this one. And I'm going to try to go back to my PDF here. Okay. And that's it. So it's, those are the four concepts that we wanted to share today. And, you know, we love them all. We might have a favorite, but, and we'll share this PDF with you after the meeting so you guys can kind of mull over it a little bit longer. But do you have any initial thoughts or any favorites or anything standing out to you right now?
I have a question of what would be next in the process? Like what do you need from us?
Mhm.
So ideally, we would whittle it down to one favorite concept. That would be easiest. And then we would take that one concept and we would apply a couple different palettes to it. So maybe like 3 or 4 different color palettes. And then we will present that to you and you can decide which color palette you want to go with. And then once we settle on that, I'm not sure, maybe you could speak more to that, Rick. I don't know.
We
what
would
all
probably,
include.
what we would do at that point is really provide all the files that you would need. So once color and once everything is approved, we would provide files so that you would have all the necessary files you would need to implement it. I'm assuming it would go on your page on your, whether it's your current website, but with the new city site, I'm not sure where that's at in the process, but wherever that's going to be, where it's going to be able to be branded. And then really, if there's, again, we're presenting business cards. I don't know if you're going to have business cards for your team. It really depends on how you see the practical usage, but whatever you're going to need, we'll be able to provide you with some of those, all the logo files that you would need to be able to build those out. Or if you like some of what we've done, of course, we could, give those to you so you can build those out for your team, whatever is necessary to help get you over the finish line.
Yeah. And we also like to provide,
Sharing?
I'm sorry, we're overlapping. I'm sorry.
The screen sharing.
Oh,
Or
yep. There we go. There we go. Sorry.
I just
forgot I
wanted
was
to
still
share that we also would do a simple brand guide. So in any of the marks that we provide you, you would have different formats. So horizontal, vertical, icons. We give you color build outs, as far as CMYK and hex colors. And so you would have all the tools. If you were working with different vendors, you would be able to provide those.
Correct.
Yeah.
So Rick, what is the timeline that you need for us to narrow it down to 2?
Well, I think that you're going to want to share this with probably members who aren't present today or whatever. And I don't know who else in the approval process, but you'll probably want to mull those over and talk. I would say, I know that you have another meeting coming up in a month, and it would be nice to be able to, if between now and that time, if you were to narrow down the logos, maybe down to 1, and that we could apply color. So maybe the next time we meet, we're looking at color and, really maybe towards the end of the process at that point. But I just don't know, based upon your time frame, how fast you want this to move, or, how do you want to, move ahead on this. We just know that it'd be nice to, explore color next in this process. And the best way to do that, we could do it if there's like 2 favorites, but you want to see them in color, we can do that. Or if everyone sort of lands on a favorite where you're saying, this is great, we all love it, we can see the potential with this and what, the applications we're going to use it for. So let's just start exploring color. And we would be able to do that, and even be able to do that to pass that along, before, a month goes by. But if you want us to come back on and present the color palettes and stuff like that, we'd be happy to do that as well.
Rick, would you be able to email me
The proposal?
The proposal, yes. And then
Yep,
I'll get it out to everyone to take a look.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then,
Yep.
you know, you guys can all, you know, say which one you like the most, and I can tally that up and let Rick know. And then you can take it to the next step with your color palette. And then I can also provide that to the group too. So then at the next meeting, they can vote on it. Does that sound okay for you guys?
Yeah, sounds great.
Any
Commissioners?
Go ahead,
any
Sarah.
or suggestions before that? Now? Before picking a logo and just going to colors? Is there any room to do that now, or?
Yeah, say what's on your mind.
Okay, I feel like with the logo, something that can represent something on its own without words is important. And the square one, the boxes, the building with the canvas with color, that would be really cool to see. And that could be something that is visually representing the same thing as the words. I do love the little canvas and the A, but I personally, just an opinion, the APAC, that's what I saw when I read it, and just like what is that? It just felt like the canvas and the A was visual and the logo, but words separate. So then it's like how my mind was trying to bounce between the square logo and the canvas logo, but seeing those in colors, but not the canvas with the APAC. I was more curious to see that. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Good
the one.
feedback.
Yeah, that was the only one we really used the acronym on. So we wanted to show some variation on that. So that's good feedback. Thank you.
Oh, and I do like the wall one as well. Just something that could be without words for a logo is cool to have, because you can do more stuff like that.
Hi, Eric, you joined us, but we already went through the logo design, so I will forward that information to you.
And there's a little, and
Yeah.
again, it won't be lost because you'll see in the PDF up in the upper corner, there is some of the background on what the thoughts that are in each of those logos, so that they're self-explanatory.
Do the rest of us want to provide feedback, or would we prefer to do that in email?
I think if we can come up with everybody, just start to look at least to narrow it down to 2, and then let him put color in it. And I think at least by the next one, if Eric is okay with it, I know he didn't get to see all of them, but if we can vote on it, our top 2, and then have him to put color on those, then we can vote on it at our June 14th meeting. I think that's the next one. So I think if we can do that, so we won't have the process going out too long, and we can make a decision by the next meeting. Eric, are you okay with that? Because I know you hadn't seen them, so you had to get caught up on them.
I'm good with it. I'm just glad we're making quick decisions, right? So we all gave what our preference would be initially. I know these are probably different than what we submitted, but I'm trusting the team, right? So I don't know if you want to narrow it down to 2, that's fine, or can we vote on it now is another question I think was asked, but I don't know that. I'm good either way.
Okay.
So my suggestion is to, really, we love presenting, and we also like to share the documents so that everyone can sort of like mull over it and take a look at it. And again, because it's always something like, it's exciting to present this stuff, but you really want to really think a little bit more about it. So we weren't expecting a vote today.
Mm-hmm.
We just wanted to be able to present and allow you and the rest of you, the board to review the documents, have dialogue about them, and then, get back to us. That's typically how, these things work. And we love feedback, because again, we're looking at it through, the feedback that you gave us originally, and then, putting our heads together, wrapping our heads around it, and putting it down on paper. And now it's going back over to you so that you can give us some feedback and hopefully, narrow it down.
Okay.
Yeah, if you email me the presentation, I can get it to the group this week.
Okay.
And then, everybody can have their thoughts back to me by next week.
Right.
And then we can take it to the next step then. So then by our next meeting, everyone can vote on it. Or if you have any additional questions, you can always email me.
Sure.
And I can continue to flood Rick's email as usual. But
fine.
yeah, so that we can just move this forward.
Okay.
Well, great. Well, thanks for having us on. I know that you guys have a lot of stuff on your agenda, so fitting us in and allowing us to present to you was great. And we thank you for letting us do it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
You.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks so
Bye
much.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Right. So we're gonna go ahead and keep going. If everyone is okay with having Summer to send us that out, everyone can narrow it down to 2. Then he can have the color pieces put in there. We can discuss it at the next meeting and everyone be able to ready to vote. Only if everyone has the time to be able to look over the ones that he's gonna put the color palette to, or have any questions, let's go ahead and shoot those back to Summer so we can have those answers before our next meeting. Any other questions or comments about the logo? We're good? All righty. Agenda item number 4 was just saying the monthly meeting is going to be on Wednesday at 4 o'clock, which our next meeting will be June 14th. And agenda item number 5, public inventory awarded to Mac Love, which we did last week. And I know, Summer, you want to give us any updates about, we are waiting in the law department for the contract? And
Yeah, so it's with the law department, so they have to create a contract. I did receive Mac's invoice. I have the invoice. So once the contract is created and I get it to Mac, he signs off on it, then I will have to submit a request for half for the project. So hopefully that contract will be done soon. And then Mac would like to be at the next meeting to kind of go over with you guys, kind of like a full detail of the process. I know initially when we did the RFP, we had, dates on there, but it's taken a little longer to get started. So he may have to, kind of redo or readjust the time frame, which I spoke with him, I think yesterday, and he's okay with the current time frame, but I did tell him to look through and just, make sure the time frame that we currently have works for him.
okay. So did we ever?
Did I hear? Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead. I was going to ask for another question.
Summer, did I hear you say invoice for half?
Yes. And that was in his proposal, was half before he got started.
I'm just gonna speak. That's one. That's
You're breaking up.
I'm not. Maybe I'm in the wrong field, but I'm not used to that. Paying an invoice on something that's not in my hands is not what I'm used to doing. So, but I'm just speaking for I. So this is a team. If we agree to that,
So I think
I guess there's
typically,
nothing we can do about it. I mean, I like to see stages before I'm paying out, right? I need something havable in my hands to see, to edit, because we're paying half. That means he's going to deliver a half product and then he's already down the road, right? So in 10%, 20% range, I would like to have a review session to see exactly what he's doing. And we can say, yes, that's a great path. That's the way, what we want to see, and then move forward with that. Am I missing something?
I don't think you are. I've seen
Okay,
it,
so
seen
what
it
do you
done
wanna
both
discuss?
ways, but this is brand new. So I would hate that he runs into something and this says, well, no, that's additional. I don't know.
Right, exactly. So, are we gonna get ad service to that, right? So that's what, and then something happens and we're into this month of, oh, I can't get to it right now because something else hit my plate, but I got Akron. So I know everyone trusts everyone, but business first, and I'm unfamiliar with this, so I'm just voicing my concern.
I mean, here, and you know, something that is a whole different ball game in our area and arena. We do a whole lot of upfront first. So I didn't see a problem with it because I know we release grants a big amount initially, and then but we have to have a timeline. My goal is to make sure, I think when we meet, when we do the half need to outline exactly what's going to be done within that period of time. And then as a commission, we decide on how we're gonna the percentages as we go through, as we see our product being going towards completion. But I think that's like Summer said, that was actually in his RSP. I mean, in his proposal when he did it about when he sent it to us about half initially.
And he is willing to have updates, like, you know, come on and report out to the commission per our conversation. I don't know if you guys want to do that every month or every other month until completed, but you guys can set the tone for that. Like how often you would want to report.
You know, Eric, thinking through this a little bit more and hearing others, I think it's relatively low risk.
Yeah, I agree. I was just thinking, we don't want to put more administrative work on the city of Akron, making them do multiple payments. I've done half upfront, half upon completion. And so I feel comfortable with it. But I do think it would be nice to have Mac at our meetings and just do check-ins.
For sure.
How
Especially
often
since
would
this
you
is our,
want to check in? Because I have to get that in the contract too. So how often are you guys thinking about a meeting?
Can
You
he
say
come
every
to
other?
all meetings and give like a 15-minute update each time?
One more time, I didn't hear you. You said what?
Can he come to our monthly meetings and give like a 15-minute update each time?
I agree, especially since this is our first commission project.
Clearly, I'm up in the mountains, so Larissa, everyone's going in and out. Did the commission agree that there's no risk here?
Yes, that's correct. They say it was a very low risk for it. And then we can agree to have like a monthly check-in with Mac.
And Mac has a good relationship with the city. He's done multiple things with the city. So
Okay.
but I understand
All
what you're
right.
saying here. I get it. But that's it's up to you guys.
Yeah.
So you tell me what you want.
I think we've decided that again, I'm a team guy, so I'm outvoted. Not a problem with me. I've never once done anything like this, so I'm not going to speak to it. I was just voicing my opinion.
So I will request a timeline from Mac, and I will share that with the group, as well as with the attorneys to put in the contract. And Kat, you said monthly meetings with a 15-minute update.
Yeah, attend our monthly meetings that we already have scheduled.
Okay.
I think it was already, I think in the proposal that we had was updates anyway. We just didn't say the time frame for the update.
Right.
So now we can be a little more specific and put in monthly updates. All right, do we need to?
And do you guys have a deadline for this completion? Do you want this by the end of, I mean, I know what we originally had in the RFP, but time wasn't really on our side. So do you guys want to stick to that deadline date that you originally had?
No, I think to be fair to him, we need to move that out. As long as it took us to develop the RFP and interview him, we need to move that, extend it to that deadline.
Yeah,
I
just
don't know.
keep the same time frame that we originally have, not the date. So the time frame that we originally set. Are we okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Everyone okay with that? Keeping the original time frame, but not the original date. So if the time frame was 6 months, let's keep it at 6 months. We just have to extend the date, the
Yeah,
deadline.
I'm comfortable with that. The only thing is I think we need to have something in there that just allows for if something outside his control comes up or something of that sort that a discussion can be had to extend that if necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think it's an appropriate thing to do, given our world today and all that good stuff.
Nothing too without that monthly update, John.
Yeah, it'd be, yeah, that's when
we
that
should
would
be able
come
to do
up.
that at that time.
Yep, yep, you got it, Larissa. Yep.
Or everyone is okay with that? But since he's meeting with us monthly, we should be able to keep us abreast on anything that comes up. All right. Any other questions or comments? All right. So do we need to motion that we want to make sure we do the 50% upfront, since we already talked about that in the monthly meetings for the update regarding any progress or any concerns that he may have? Everyone's good with that? All right. All right, our next,
Hey, I have a question.
yes.
When I'm unmuted, is it really loud?
No.
No, you're fine.
Okay, all right.
That was your question?
Like you say, if he's unmuted, it's-
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So just to be clear, request a timeline. We're going to do monthly follow-up meetings with the 15-minute update. Completion within 6 months. That will take us to November. If he gets done before, great. And have some verbiage that states I'm trying to figure out something in the alley of, something comes up, the commission is at the commission's discretion, or like if something comes up.
It would be more of it would be, I would have bullet points. I could send it to you, owner or not owner, commission, changes ad services or, material delays due to lead time. Things like that.
Okay, if you want to send me something, that'd be fine.
Okay.
all righty. Any questions, suggestions, concerns? Yes, just in because of the time. So let's go ahead and look at agenda item number 6. Do we have any submittable applications that we need to review? I didn't put in.
No.
Okay. All right, rebranding. We want to look at a couple different things. Number one is we talked about when we get the logo, how when we get ready to rebrand, how are we going to look to inform the community, different things of that nature. And then we want to be able to look at the processes that we're going to have for the Akron Public Arts Commission. Any questions there? Any concerns? Now, the one I did have was the round table. You have there. When is the round table? You're on mute. You're on mute, Summer.
You're talking about the governors?
She had here on the agenda about the roundtable after the election. That's why I was trying to, I don't know exactly what that. Number 7, it should be C, it's just the ABA.
Eric. Mhm.
Is
Okay.
that what you was
Well,
referring to?
Eric created the agenda, but that is correct. We were trying to wait after, you know, everything to do a roundtable. Basically, that was kind of like reintroducing the Public Arts Commission to the community by having a conversation with artists and members of the community to find out, you know, what is it that they need from the commission, and also let them know that the commission is here and present. So, but I don't think we wanted to do that until we had our logo together.
Okay, because I know it's saying here, it says the event to be advertised by the end of March, April 23, which we hadn't finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had, the logo hadn't been completed yet, so I'm looking at, we might need to be pushed out a little bit more.
Yeah. I think Eric was just going off of the old
Yeah.
information.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we just get through the logo and then we can talk about those other things.
Mhm.
Okay. All
So
right.
the one thing I just want to bring up regarding the logo, one, be aware that there was a lot of chatter about the city of Akron's new logo. I don't think we'll come close to that, positive or negative, actually. But just want to make sure everybody's aware. And the other thing that I'm not clear on is if the city of Akron runs by any type of what I call branding standards. So, and I don't know where this falls into the city's revamped website. I know the new logo that just was released is planning on being put to bed when Shamus takes over, potentially. I'm not sure. So I just want us to be aware of what's around us, and I don't want to be accused of going rogue. And Summer, you're the biggest help with all of this to help us know if that's the case. So those are some things to come to mind. And then also, just to go back to the logo real quick, when we do our top 2 and the colors and all of that, one thing we're going to want to keep in mind is what's the cost to manage it. So in other words, sometimes, and I've been in this position where we chose this awesome logo and then find out that every time we do something with it, it's like a 4-color process and it costs us a lot of money or something like that. Things have changed today since I was last in that situation, but I just want us to be aware of how, what are the costs to be using it. And it looks like we're going to be it's pretty clean no matter what, but I just wanted to bring that up. But I was mostly concerned about anything with the city of Akron. Now, if we're running completely on our own or whatever, Summer, then we have full latitude for those decisions, then I think that's great.
Well, just know I'm not going to let you guys fail, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Tied to this too. So with the website by the city doing a different website, our website was old. So basically it's going to move a little quicker, make it more friendly for the residents of Akron to be able to go to different sites to look up what they need. The Public Arts website will then be merged onto the City of Akron's website. So you will have your own website still, but it's just going to be linked to the City of Akron. So when someone goes to the City of Akron's webpage, all the other commissions or any other things that we have going on will be tied to one platform, which is the city's website. So yes, the commission will have its own website still. The logo, because it was done by Triad, they do know all the ins and outs of how the new website is going to be. So they are, staying within regulation and guidelines. And what they presented, I think everything was pretty clean. So I think we'll be okay on that. And then once you guys decide, I can definitely take it to the leadership team and just say, hey, this is what the commission has decided, can I have your blessing? So I think everything will be okay with that. John, you are correct. As far as color does cost a lot of money now, especially if we do certain items to print. So we do want to be mindful of like all the different colors, except for if you choose to do business cards with your name and like the public arts web email address and then the public arts website. I think that would be okay. But I would say, as far as the logo, we might want to stay under the colors.
Does the city have, I know if we're not looking at, if they're not branding the logo, but at least are they looking at branding colors? Because I know with us, with Akron Public Schools, our colors are branded. So we can only use certain colors when we're doing big items.
So that hasn't been brought to my attention with anything like that. And leadership does know that we did win the grant through Triad. And we have discussed it and no one has said anything about branding colors. And John, you could be right about the logo, the city logo, which potentially could change. I don't know what this next administration plans to do, but the commission's logo will stay as is because you are your own kind of like organization. So your logo will stay. And the city's logo doesn't have to go on anything with the commission's logo unless we're doing like a big event and we can say sponsored by, like City of Akron, but then that's when we would have to add their logo. But the commission's logo will be separate and as it stands, however you guys choose to do it.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. So we said we was gonna wait a little while for them engaging the community, just to wait to see what we have with the logo and everything. Any other upcoming public arts events? We did have one sent to everyone. Everyone should have gotten an email from Katie in regard to the Sabretooth Public Art Showcase Open House. If you hadn't gotten that one, I know she's looking for 3 additional people that they have invited from the Public Art Commission to go with her, to join her. Katie, you want to speak on that open house?
Yeah, they're offering VIP tickets for their open house. So if anyone would like to go, I can send your email and info to Marissa so that you can get that pass.
So Katie, can you just give a little background on Sabretooth?
Yeah, so Sabretooth Public Art was founded by the women who started Art Bomb Brigade. So this is now their own creative placemaking business. And so they're having an open house, I think, to showcase some of their work and partnerships that they've started in the community.
I think they just rebranded themselves, right? With the new name of Sabretooth.
Yeah, it's like I believe like it's like an LLC now that they own.
And they actually, when we first began the commission, they actually came and spoke to you guys. This was like a while ago, back in like 2020 sometime. Yeah.
So if anyone is interested in that, you can just send Katie your information and she'll pass those on. Any additional upcoming public art events?
Yeah, I have one related to the commission. So Downtown Akron Partnership is having one of their paint days this Saturday. And so you can volunteer to paint with them in Boa Mistra for the STEM Plaza community painting. So they had attended our last meeting about the library public art, but I wanted to share this in case anyone is interested in working with artists that we approved. Oh, and I shared the link in the chat. So if you're interested, you can sign up there.
Kat, wasn't there another event that you shared with the commission
Yeah, it was the Ohio Arts Council's Governors Award, which I think is next week at this point. So it's coming up. I'm not able to attend, but yes, if anyone else is interested, you can let Summer know.
Mhm.
What's the date and time of both events?
Look like the paint day is Saturday, March 13th from 11 to 1.
May 13th.
That's the one. And then that's the one this weekend. It looks like it.
Yeah.
I don't have the other one, Kat.
The Sabretooth Public Art Open House is May 19th. So next Friday.
Then the Governor's Award looks like May 17th at 11 a.m., but that's in Columbus. So if anyone is interested in that May 17th, we could probably, because I know the tickets have a cost associated with it. We can probably use some funding, or I can see if I'm able to move some mountains to get some people paid for if you want to attend the one in Columbus.
Yeah, I'm not able to attend.
Anyone else?
Katie, I'll let you know, hopefully this evening or tomorrow, same for you, Summer. May 17th, May 19th, right?
Right. May 17th is in Columbus. May 19th is here in Akron.
13th is the day.
Okay. All right. Do we have any other questions or any more public art events, upcoming events? Okay. All right. Any public comments? Do we get any public comments? Summer? That's
No
all?
public comment.
No public comments?
And we have 10 viewers.
10 viewers? Okay. Any other questions or concerns? We were right at 5 o'clock on the dot.
Good job, Larissa.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I was ready today. I mean, just stayed in my office at my desk. All right, if there's no other order of business, I have someone to move or else to close out.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
All right, Katie, second. Any seconds?
So move, second, sorry.
All right, it's been moved and properly second that we adjourn at 5:01 p.m.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very
Bye.
progressive meeting. Proud to check your
Thank
emails.
you very much. Thanks, Larissa.
No problem. Be safe, Eric. Drive.